So the Oculus Rift pre-order date has been and gone, and I suppose you're all wondering, did I get one? And unfortunately, the answer, like most of you who are probably watching this video, it's a no. Sadly, I just couldn't afford it. Being here in the UK, it was going to cost about £600, maybe even more than £600 with tax plus shipping. So that's just something that right now I can't afford, and that is sad because I've been following VR and its developments for such a long time now, and I actually thought that affordable consumer VR was finally here, and unfortunately I was wrong about that, but I can see why they went in the direction they did. I did upgrade my PC though, so at least I have a nice gaming PC now. I got quite lucky with that one because all the components in this PC come to over £1,000, and I luckily on eBay I ended up paying under £500 for it. So really I only just about got lucky in being able to own a PC that could run Oculus Rift. So I'm definitely not the target audience for it right now. So what I've been wondering is, where does that leave me and the rest of you who can't afford the top of the range product at the moment? So obviously I'm stuck using budget VR, and as you know, as I said, I was there on the day when the Oculus Rift pre-orders went up, hoping to spend some money on an Oculus Rift. Now obviously the amount was too much. I was expecting to spend more like £300, which would have been more about the 400 to 450 US dollar mark. That was probably my cut-off point. That's all I could afford. And I am still willing to drop roughly that amount of money on VR. So where's the middle ground? So presently I've got 5 different things in mind that I'm potentially going to drop the money on, and I thought I'd walk through them with you in case anyone out there is wanting to spend some extra money on VR and have a significant upgrade from cardboard, but still can't afford something like the top end Rift or Vive, whatever the Vive ends up costing when that comes out. So number 1 on the list is the DPoon. It has an amazing name, you've got to admit. This is basically like a Chinese variant on the DK2. It hasn't got positional tracking that I know of, and I can't see how it would have, but it has got a 1080p display. It seems to run off Android. I can't see how exactly you get the apps onto it. I have found a few videos about it online, but they're in very broken English. So basically this is a plastic variant on the cardboard with a 1080p screen already built in. The sensors are already built in. It has an HDMI port built in, so you can stream things like different games and stuff, probably like Trinus VR from your PC to it with a fairly low latency. I'd like to get hold of one. I'm not sure about spending that much money on something from China, given how disappointed I've been with some of the other headsets that have come from there. But I'm going to keep my eye out and see what I can find out about it. The next one is Visus VR. Now, this one, again, is a bit hit and miss. This one was meant to come out in December 2014, if I remember correctly. I had my eye on it back then, and every few months the shipping date for it keeps getting pushed back. They keep saying that this is because they're making newer developments to it and improving it, but they don't seem to be willing to provide many updates or proof of this. So apparently January, this month, is when that comes out. So this one uses your phone, so again it's similar to the plastic cardboards, except it has the built-in sensors. So anyone who's got a phone without a gyroscope in it for whatever reason, or anyone with a phone with a gyroscope that's rubbish, this comes with improved built-in sensors apparently. Again, no positional tracking with this one. That seems to be what's majorly lacking with budget VR, but it might be worth looking into if it ever comes out. The Cmore. Again, this is very much like what I just explained with the Visus VR. This one has an option to buy an HD screen to go in it, or you can just use your phone. Again, comes with built-in sensors to improve the accuracy and latency with regards to positional, well, not positional tracking, but tracking which direction you're looking in. I have been very impressed with what Cmore have done with their apps, so I would really like to see what this headset ends up being like. So that again is probably one of the top contenders for middle of the road VR. OS VR is Razer's kind of attempt at VR. Version 1.3 is out at the moment. I've heard bad things about 1.3, but there was a lot of good stuff at CES this year about version 1.4, which could drop at any time. So I'd say if you're looking at this, wait until version 1.4, because apparently they've added in various filters and things which get rid of the screen door effect, and done lots of other various improvements to it. And this one does come with positional tracking, except that with regards to software, there doesn't seem to be many games available to it at the moment. So my final option is just going out and finding a second-hand DK2 on eBay, which I am umming and ahhing about. I do like the idea of owning a DK2. I'm worried about the different problems that people have said it has with regards to setting up, because obviously it's a dev kit, so it was never intended to be easy to get to grips with. But again, that's one of the other options for middle of the road VR at the moment. I'm going to mention Gear VR. I can't afford any of the phones needed for the Gear VR at the moment, so again, if I could afford one of those phones, I might as well have just bought an Oculus Rift consumer version. So Gear VR is a bit of a write-off for me at the moment, but it does look like a viable option for anyone out there who does have the compatible phones for it. And I'm also going to give a mention to Vive, because we still don't know how much the Vive's going to cost yet, and I still have my fingers crossed that it's going to be affordable. Different people have been going crazy online trying to work out how much this thing's going to cost. Some people think because of the way HTC has various different factories and manufacturing processes that all the parts and components will be easier to produce and cheaper. Other people are saying because of how technically different it is in different aspects of the way it works, it's going to be more expensive. No one seems to have any indication really as to how much this thing's going to cost. Apparently pre-orders for the Vive go live in February, so we'll have to wait and see if that happens, and apparently they're aiming to launch by April, so fingers crossed. I hope that goes well for them, and I look forward to seeing more about the Vive. And finally, there's probably not going to be any comments turned on this video, just because I found out I wasn't having the time to go back and actually reply to people. So if you do have any questions for me regarding Google Cardboards or budget VR, I'd say pop along to the Google Cardboard subreddit, because I do tend to visit there probably at least once every day. So if I'm not there to answer your question, there's going to be a ton more, way more reliable people there who will be able to. So thanks for watching.